Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In this video, I'm going to solve the equation the square root of x plus the square root of 5 is equal to the square root of 3x plus 7. So, I want to find the value of x. Now for my solution, so I'm going to start off by writing my equation down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to square both sides. So I have the square root of x plus the square root of 5 squared is equal to the square root of 3x plus 7 squared. Now, if I have something in the form a plus b squared, this is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So, the square root of x plus the square root of 5 squared is equal to, in this case, a is the square root of x and b is the square root of 5. So, I get the square root of x squared plus 2 times the square root of x times the square root of 5 plus the square root of 5 squared is equal to the square root of 3x plus 7 squared, which is just 3x plus 7, because the square and the square root cancel out. Now I'm going to simplify this a little bit. So we have the square root of x squared, and again, the square root and the square cancel out. So I have x plus 2 root x times the square root of 5. We can't simplify that just yet. Plus, again, the square root of 5 squared is just going to be 5. And this is all equal to 3x plus 7. Now from here, let's say I want to multiply two radicals, the square root of a times the square root of b. This is the same thing as the square root of a times b. Meaning, over here I have the square root of x times the square root of 5, and this is equal to 2 times the square root of 5x. Alright, so now from here, what I'm going to do is subtract x and subtract 5 on both sides. This way, things can be a little more simplified. So, from my left-hand side, all I have is 2 root 5x. And on my right-hand side, well, 3x minus x is just going to be 2x. And 7 minus 5 is positive 2. So I'm left with 2 root 5x is equal to 2x plus 2. Now what I'm going to do for my right-hand side is notice how both of these terms have 2 in them. So I'm going to factor out 2. So I get 2 times x plus 1. So 2 root 5x is equal to 2 times x plus 1. And this means that if I divide both sides by 2, these two cancel out. And I'm left with the square root of 5x is equal to, these two cancel out on my left-hand side, x plus 1. Now, how are we going to simplify this even more? Because again, I want to solve for the value of x. Well, notice how we have the square root here. So, whenever you're solving an equation, keep this in mind, most of the times the best thing to do is to always get rid of the square root. So if a term has a square root, the best way to get rid of it is to square both sides, because it's always easier to solve something without square roots. It's better to square it. So the square root of 5x squared is just 5x. So I have 5x is equal to x plus 1 squared, which is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 1. Now I'm going to subtract 5x on both sides. So these two cancel out, and I have x squared. 2x minus 5x is negative 3x, so x squared minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. So what we have here now is a quadratic equation. And to solve this quadratic equation, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. So as a quick refresher, the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And in this case, a is 1, b is negative 3, and c is 1. So I get x is equal to negative of negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times 1 all over 2a, so 2 times 1. So now I have x is equal to positive 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 4. 4 times 1 is just 4, all over 2. So now I have x is equal to 3 plus or minus the square root of 5 over 2. So what we have here is x is equal to 3 plus the square root of 5 over 2, and x is equal to 3 minus the square root of 5 over 2. And now what I'm going to do is, remember, we want the exact value. So I can actually plug these values into a calculator. So I have x is equal to 3 plus the square root of 5. 3 plus the square root of 5 is equal to 5.236 over 2. And x is equal to 3 minus the square root of 5. Well, before that, let's actually just divide this by 2. And we get x is equal to 2.618. So this is one solution of x. And x of 2 is equal to 3 minus the square root of 5 over 2, which is equal to 3.82.